I started playing piano and cello when I was very young. I had a piano teacher and she was very good at teaching but very strict, and often I would fear her. So the way I was raised with piano had been that you either got it perfect on the day or that if you didn't, you weren't good enough. Music was something that was very personal to me, and I linked it to my pride and my popularity. Gradually, as my perception of the world changed, music became something that instead of being for me myself, I wanted to share with others. When I was around 11, I played my first video game, and it was an amazing experience. And the music itself was able to draw you into the world of the game, and you could completely lose yourself in it. And I hope that by writing game music, I can also allow other young people to grow an interest towards classical music. When I first got this brief, I was just lost. I just thought, well, now's the end. I should just quit everything, because what do you do with this brief?
Create a piece of work that represents a vision of human physical perfection. Esther, Jack, Ash, Dana and Sam.
In that state of panic, I did brainstorm a lot of ideas. I thought, how can I write a piece of music that can represent a vision of physical human perfection, which is something I've never explored before. Usually when I write pieces, I like to have a narrative, but this one was just beyond me. There were a lot of obstacles along the way. I remember when I was brainstorming, I was like, oh, what do I do? And then as I start writing, it's like, oh, how do I do this? And you have to keep repeating, scrap an idea, repeat an idea, whatever. So say if I start with, and then it goes. It definitely taught me a lot through the process of writing this piece. So that's something I'm grateful for. Not that it's a bad piece, it's just not quite there. And maybe I'll spend my whole life thinking anything I write is not quite there. But in a way, maybe that'll drive me. It's split into 3 sections, very simple, very clear. The first section is representing the image of perfection. It's still, it's calm, it's ethereal, what we strive to be. And so I decided to look at gods and deities for this part because they kind of are a symbol of perfection.
Yeah.
You look at a god, you think, wow, they're perfect, they have this much power. We revere these beings. They are an image of what we strive to be. The second section begins with a small dance in quite an odd character. It stops, then it starts again. And it wants to chase something. It wants to arrive at a place of perfection. However, how does it get there? It's stuck, just like humans and the pursuit of perfection. Yeah, so I don't want to make this too cliche. So essentially, even if I have something like... The third section then sees the return of the theme from the first section. However, this time the textures are very turbulent, and this represents how perfection, it's a triumph to achieve, but we constantly have to keep achieving it. The obstacle of feeling like your piece isn't good enough, that is what made me hinder my own creativity in a way or another. Indifference is my fear. So if people were to listen to my music, I would want them to feel anything. Anything is better than nothing.